What is up, my brothers and sisters? Have you not noticed by now that most of these people on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, these people that you listened to for so long and you agreed with them, right? You know, they kept saying it's weather manipulation, right? And for a while, people like you probably tagged along that train, right? Because people had no other explanation or definitive proof of what is really happening. So they chalk it up to some bullshit that makes them feel better, right? They want to feel that the government's in control. They want to believe the government and what they're telling you. All the reasons why they do what they do. To not panic and there's nothing bad going on. Don't worry about it, right? Nothing to see here. You know, all that bullshit. So the government is only good at one thing, and I've said it a million times. They're good at lying, bullshitting. Everything that comes out of their mouth is bullshit, right? When they tell you you need to take this, you need to turn the other way. When they tell you that there's nothing wrong, there's nothing to see here, shit like that should make you question what's really going on, because that ain't the truth. So you can't believe anything they say, then why would you believe anything they type up? You don't think that they can bullshit some paperwork, some documents, some shit that they admitted to, right? They can change the weather, they can manipulate it, right? Then it's got to be that, right? This is pop culture ideas, right? This is what the masses believe, right? They believe in shit like sun simulators and weather manipulation and all that bullshit, right? And the reason I feel that people like to take that thought is because they like to feel that man is in control. When man isn't in control of shit, the government ain't even in control. They just want you to think they're in control because this makes you feel better, right? It's not as scary as knowing that they don't have control of shit, right? If you were to realize that, you'd probably shit your pants. That's why you like to believe all that bullshit that goes on. And the reason why you believe it is because some guy on Facebook posted it. Somebody Googled it, right? And then they made a YouTube video about it, right? But that's not evidence. That's not proof. That's opinions and shit that sounds good to you, so you soak it in, right? But that ain't what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They lie about the war. They lie about all the shit that they're doing, right? Then why would you believe any documents that they so-called declassify, right? Even then, they leave you in the dark and it's real vague. It ain't the 100% truth, but it sounds good. That's why people like you believe it, right? That's why people like you want to keep running with it. And so by now, all these YouTubers and Facebookers and Instagram and all these, I don't know what the fuck they call them, influencers, they spread shit like weather modification, Project Bluebeam, right? Because it sounds good. It gets plays, it gets likes. You believe it. You watch it, you put a like on it, then why not keep running with it? You know, the truth ain't popular, but bullshit is. And people like to hear bullshit. They don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear the bullshit. They want to feel better about what's going on. They want to think that someone's in control, right? Because if someone's in control, then it can be changed, it can be managed, right? It can be altered, right? They don't want to think beyond that spectrum or outside the box because it's scary, right? It is. It is scary. But if you can't accept that, then you weren't gonna make it anyways. You know? If you can't see what's coming 100 miles away, then you've already lost and you're damned. Woe be to you then. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't just talking on my ass. It's a fine observation. So by now, people keep saying when meteors and fires falling from the sky, right, lights are being seen, they keep saying bullshit like Project Bluebeam. Well, how the fuck do you think they're gonna pull off Project Bluebeam? They're just gonna keep projecting lights in the skies? You don't think that people are eventually gonna be like, when are they gonna come down? Are they gonna say hello? Are they nice? Are they mean? So far, they just keep staying up there and they make a light show. Cool. Doesn't really seem that hostile to me. Even if they were to fake meteors or explosions, right? What then? What comes after? They just keep beaming lights in the skies and people just keep wondering when the fuck they're ever gonna come down. They just seem to stay up there. They don't ever land down here. How do you suppose that Project Bluebeam, shit like Project Bluebeam, would take effect? They're just gonna keep beaming fucking lights and images in the skies and you're just supposed to fall for it? You're an idiot.